Hello everyone. Alright, so today we are focusing on thesis and essay structure, and I do want to state that for the thesis assignment, because I was ill last week on Thursday after giving a presentation on 9/11, I became extremely ill, so I wanted to upload this particular lesson on Thursday of last week on 9/11, but I felt ill after presenting and so forth. So today I'm just going to go over thesis statement, okay, how it should be constructed. This is a format that I share with my ENC students and also for students that are taking Comp 1, okay. And I've heard a lot of great feedback in terms of how I present it, so I want to just share you a little tidbit. It doesn't hurt, especially being that you're not taking a face-to-face class. So the first thing I wanted to address in terms of how to write a thesis statement, the first thing you need to do is focus on your topic, okay? In other words, what is your subject? So for the rough draft assignment that is due during week 5, so I'm looking at the course calendar right now. Week 5, you are supposed to, on the 22nd, Monday, upload your first draft. And I already showed you what your content should be based on in terms of the power of language, okay? So you need to make sure that you have either a working thesis, meaning you're still tweaking it out in terms of what your main idea is, or you have a thesis in place. And your essay is going to surround that particular thesis, okay? So first thing, like I told you, identifying the subject. The example that I give right here, empowering words. So I wanted to use the same example that I showed you last week as a continuation. Secondly, when it comes to identifying a thesis statement, think about what are you trying to say about the topic, about your subject. So what are you making a point about in terms of that particular subject, whether it's hateful words, motivational words, even texting. Students had written an essay on that, how it can be detrimental, okay, in terms of your writing. So in the past, students would write about that. So there's different arrays, variances in terms of the power of language and what you can say about words. Okay, so I'm just using empowering words as my subject. Now, again, what are you trying to say about the topic? So over here, okay, pardon me, over here it says empowering words can help, right, an individual by means of producing motivation and direction. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to say. So in one sentence, you should be able to state your thesis statement, okay? This is your main idea. So again, this is your main idea, what your entire essay will be reflecting, okay? And it should be stated in one sentence. So, with that being said, thesis statement must be the last sentence, okay? Let me expand that so you can see everything. Alright, so thesis statement must be the last sentence in your introduction, and it should only be stated in one sentence, okay? So here is how it should look like if you were typing it up, okay? Empowering words can help an individual by means of producing motivation and direction, okay? So again, throughout the essay, I should be saying something along the lines in terms of empowering words, or even phrasing it differently, words that are impactful, words that can create power within your life, okay? Words that prophesize. So you're phrasing it. I want to see throughout your essay empowering words, empowering words, empowering words. As college students and for college level reading, it will not phrased or be phrased when you're talking about a topic redundantly throughout the passage. Okay, so try to be versatile, in other words, with your words. Now, You're talking about individuals, okay, can help an individual by means of producing motivation. So this is your first point that I should be seeing. I'm going to label it as A. Your first point you should be talking about in your first body paragraph, okay? And your second body paragraph would reflect direction, okay? So you have motivation and direction, okay? Now, the structure. Here's what's really important. And if you're not watching these videos, you're really hindering yourself, okay? So please make sure that you at least take heed to how the essay should be structured, okay? All right, so first and foremost, you should have at least 4 to 5 paragraphs. Now, I used an upside down triangle to depict your intro, okay? Because what you're doing is you're starting off with some kind of grabber, okay, at the very beginning, and then at some point in time you're going to transition to your thesis statement. What I like to use that a lot of students are accustomed to seeing are fad cues. Remember that from, you know, high school and middle school. So starting off with something factual in terms of empowering words, you might want to cite some statistics, you know, according to research, you know, empowering words tend to affect whatever, okay? Or an anecdotal, okay? So giving some kind of story behind it, all right? Having to share some kind of situation that you encountered in terms of empowering words, if that was your subject. Or D, being descriptive, okay, defining that particular term that's acceptable as well, okay. Or questions. Questions I'm kind of leery on, because the last thing that I want to see in your essay is, have you used empowering words? Well, I have. No. Try to pose something that is at a higher standard in terms of empowering words, okay? You know, when has there been a time where you used empowering words to help a person out of a situation? That question is more thought-provoking, where you can be like, oh yeah, shoot, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I remember having to use that particular, you know, moment where I used empowering words to help my friend or what have you. But never having to start off with your essay with something as simplistic or, you know, that's not thought-provoking. And the example I gave you is, once again, have you used, you know, empowering words? Well, I have. So make sure you deter from using that, okay? All right, so following right along, you have your grabber, then B, okay, would be your transition to your thesis statement, okay? So using some kind of transitional word. After giving your grabber, you would segue into your thesis statement by saying, you know, however, you know, empowering words can really bring some kind of motivation and direction into that particular person's life, but you're not just jumping from one thing to another. When you're transitioning, you're making it cohesive. You're making sure that the sentences flow, okay? So not just start off with your grammar, but also just, you know, continuing on from that particular point where you're flowing into your thesis. And again, your thesis, if I don't see that your thesis is in one sentence, the last sentence in your introduction, I am deducting points, okay? And you can go to the writing centers. They're located in multiple locations to assist you in terms of your essay, okay? All right. Now, you have your body paragraphs. So the structure of your body paragraphs should look more or less like this. A, you have your topic sentence, okay? Your topic sentence is your main idea. So there are different types of main ideas. When you're writing an essay, the entire essay, the main idea would be called a thesis statement. When you're writing a paragraph, okay, there should be a topic sentence which expresses your main idea. So again, there are different types of main ideas, okay, but it's all doing the same function. It's expressing your overall point, okay, and you're using that same kind of format in terms of constructing your main idea. What is your subject? In this particular case, you're talking about motivation. That's your topic, right? And T for topic, if you can see that in there. And then you have your major details. So what are your main points that you would like to address pertaining to motivation? Okay? They can give you the right mindset. They can help you to overcome obstacles. So those would be two examples of major details. And then what you would do is give an example in terms of minor details on how it can help you to overcome obstacles or how it can help you with your mindset. Okay? So have two major points about motivation or whatever your topic is for your paper in your body paragraphs, and then give some examples. It can be personal, it can be something that you've seen before on TV, and so forth, okay? Your next body paragraph, remember, we said it was based on direction, okay? So, again, this is your topic. Now, what are you trying to say in terms of, you know, how it directs you, okay, by empowering you and so forth. So, again, your main idea, you're going to declare it, and that P is missing. I'm surprised I overlooked that. But anyway, you have your topic sentence, your major details, and it has the same kind of consistency, okay? So more or less, I know that some of you are saying, so how long should it be? The wrong kind of question to ask, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Professors do not like hearing that. As long as you address the main point. But to make sure that we're safe and we're on the right track, you should have at least 6 to 8 sentences. That's what I'm expecting, okay? In regards to your paragraphs. Now, this is optional. You do not have to have a third body paragraph, okay? So, again, if you do have 3 points that you would like to address, okay, then this would look a little bit different, okay? You would have 3 points. You would have motivation, direction, and, courage, okay? So courage would be like your third point, all right? That makes sense. So you'd have A, B, and C would be courage, all right? But in this case, I only have 2 points, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Then you have your conclusion, okay? Notice how this green, again, is addressing that you're restating your thesis statement in a different manner. You're paraphrasing it some kind of way, okay? Not reiterating the same thing. So if you do that, I'll take points. And then you're giving some kind of personal insight, okay? What could you share? And this is where you really show your own bias. A lot of the times, in terms of identifying whether or not the author's showing some kind of bias, his or her own viewpoint, they tend to do it in the conclusion, for those of you that do not know, okay? So, and I do not want to see words within your essay such as, that's one of my pet peeves, I think, or I believe. We don't want that. Big no-no. So if I see that, I will take away points. Okay? If you're giving your own perspective, keywords, descriptive words like adjectives will indicate that you're giving your own opinion. So I would say in my conclusion, empowering words are extremely beneficial. Extremely beneficial is showing what? Your positive side. So just bear that in mind when you are writing your essay. So not ever should I see, I believe, I think. You should straight out tell the reader what you're trying to convey, okay? By using adjectives. Write that down for my visual learners. Okay? All right. So this is pretty much it in terms of thesis statement and essay structure. One note I want to address, I am in the process of just grading all of your work. Okay, I'm halfway there in terms of finishing up, so just be on the lookout for your grades. Okay, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll try to touch base with you at the end of this week just to make sure that if there are any concerns, I will bring it out to your attention. If you have any concerns, please feel free to email me at cbentham, excuse me, not at cbentham. Email me. Yeah, actually, I was on the right track. cbentham@valenciacollege.edu. As you can see or hear, I had a long day. All right, guys. Nice talking to you. All right. Speak to you soon.